This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 899. I am Brian Kilby. Radio Free Cybertron is the world's first and oldest toy and action figure podcast since 1999. Yeah, next week is episode 900. Sorta. I think, I forgot who it even was. Who was it that helped us with the count years ago?
Was it Paul Agnew?
Probably Paul.
Yeah.
I love Paul. Paul, yeah. But I think he missed a couple episodes, or I think we're already like at 901 or 902, counting like the lost episode and such. So
yeah, I mean our official count is 900,
Yeah.
and like Brian, just think of this: we have done this for at least 900 episodes now.
At least 900 episodes, and doing the 25. I've done this for more than half my life,
Same.
more or less. That's Chris. There's also Diecast.
I'm here.
Don.
I'm here thanks to Hank not chewing on the brand new cord.
There's still time.
Yeah, Rob.
Hello.
Matt, is it already happened, or is it this weekend?
It's today.
Today?
Well, happy birthday, Matt.
It's today?
Happy birthday. Yes,
Happy
it was
birthday.
Why are you here? Why are you celebrating your birthday with us?
Because
Because he's like me. Where else would he be?
I thought it was the weekend. I
pretty
thought it was over the weekend. Okay,
He's
wow.
celebrating with his friends and possibly who he considers his family.
I don't know if I know
Oh.
that far.
I wouldn't. I'd be
Why would I
awful nervous
celebrate
about
with my
describing.
Yeah.
I
He
think Matt
probably likes
has
us better
this.
than his family.
Well, I was gonna say I think Matt has the same view as Don. I'm definitely family because you couldn't choose me. So
No, you're not family. You're just the one that always that wonders in when we didn't invite him.
Diecast, even though my kids only see you maybe once or twice a year, they see you more than they see my brothers. They think of you as family. Cool. Okay. Well, happy birthday, Matt.
The Discord is wishing you a happy birthday too, Matt.
Oh, thank you.
Sweet.
But when you're here, you're family.
Yes.
tfradio.net/Discord
not
if you also
Olive
want to
Garden.
come and wish Matt a happy birthday.
Yeah.
Matt, do you
Cool.
like Olive Garden? We can make that happen.
Ooh, we'll go to Olive Garden.
Anywhere near me.
Hey, there'll be one in Baltimore. We'll go to Olive Garden. You can get some pasta fazool. Or pasta fagioli, as Don would say.
Unlimited soup, salad, and breadsticks.
Yes.
Yeah, that's only 2 months away.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
Thankfully, I remembered that I did get a hotel room, not a whole hotel. And I found I found my confirmation last night, so yay.
Blade Raider just said RFC is the Olive Garden of podcasts, and I'm not sure whether I'm supposed to be insulted by that or not.
It's good enough.
I guess it's better than being the Applebee's of podcasts.
Yes.
And then we would never show up, and then we wouldn't say anything if we did.
Yep. RFC Live at Olive Garden. I can make that happen.
The Olive Garden people might not appreciate it, but it's technologically feasible, yes.
Yeah. So actually, we're going to be at TFcon. Most of us, half of us, will be at TFcon USA in Baltimore in November, 1st of November. And I'm actually prepping for that. So I'm not actually. This may be the first time where I'm not taking a computer. I just bought a new tablet, and I can basically do everything on my tablet that I can do on my computer. So
that's scary,
isn't it?
Yeah, this is one of those things that like it sounds really great on paper, but all I can see is when you try to actually do this for real, it's going to like catch on fire.
Not this podcast, but I record my other podcast stuff on my tablet now, and it's
a happy day.
And it's a happy day. Yeah.
Well, I'm already prepping. I'm already going through things to bring. I will try.
God.
I will try to have the for sale sheet, less than 6 feet long this time.
Are you taking your truck?
No, we're taking the Kia.
Oh, I forgot you had a Kia.
Yeah, well, it's mostly Christie's. I don't like it. I like it. It's just it yells at me and tells me I'm driving wrong all the time.
Funny.
I'll
The
take
car
the
does or
Kia
Christy
too.
does?
Both.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, you did manage to hit the one tree in the yard, so that kind of makes sense.
Cool. Okay. So, news. Hasbro launches the 2024 Hall of Fame vote. And it's like every other Hall of Fame vote. And
No, this one's a little bit different.
How?
I think because I don't know if it was this way last time, but there are things on this list that haven't even come out yet.
That's
happens
what I
every
was
year.
going. It's
that
just
happened last year.
the problem is that there's toys on there that I really want to get my hands before I give anything a nod, like Commander Class Optimus Prime.
Yeah, I think that's a very reasonable, desire to have, to want to actually interact with the toys before saying that they're the best in their type of the year.
It's like, on that list, I looked through the list. I did not see DevCon on there.
That was last year.
No, that was
There's
last
no
year.
other
Oh.
category,
this
so
ho-
you can't
Yeah.
nominate
It's the
anything else.
It's the Hall of Fame, though. Should it
Well,
be about the year?
Well, I can see them wanting to keep. It's also feedback for them on how they did on the figures currently released or recently released. It's like I would put down if everything was on there up until everything that was really available, I probably would pick Gears from that list.
Sure.
But I want to get the Optimus Prime in hand. There's a couple others on there that I don't want to vote for Gears right now.
Yes, you do.
Well, you
Right.
know what I mean.
So
You know what I
I
mean.
do.
This
think
is the correct vote.
I think it is. I think Brian raises a good point, though. Like, why are we still calling this Hall of Fame when all they're really asking us to do is pick toy releases of the year? And for
it's
this
weird.
one in particular, favorite of the 13 primes, which is obviously a lead into next year's line. They're going to end up debuting at PulseCon in 3 weeks?
Yeah.
And
So
Yeah.
I do not care about the 13
Me
primes
neither.
whatsoever.
At all.
I did vote for Leash Maximo because G2.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
about all you can do.
So basically, the Hall of Fame is now just a knockoff RFC awards.
The
Yeah, and-
similarity had not been lost on me, especially since I did the Google Doc ballot sheet thing for us about 8 months ago.
We
But
had
we
a lot
do
more
wait till
depth
the
and
end of the year.
categories, though.
Yes.
Well, see,
Yes.
and the thing is, it's like you said, there's no other category. There's toys on there that has not come out, and it's basically here's the list of all the stuff we're doing, thinking about doing, and they're using it as a feedback sheet on who to push later on down the road with like the 13 probably. Oh, everybody likes Legion Maximo, so he gets moved up in the release slot or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, where's the Hall of Fame where we can vote for a rector?
Exactly.
That was back in 2011. I
That's
think.
probably why we don't have write-ins anymore.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And the following year, because 2012, the write-in winner was Swindle after BotCon's little credit card fiasco. And I don't remember if it was one of the Fun Pub people or one of the Hasbro reps who got up on the panel stage and said, "Okay, haha, we get the joke. Stop doing this."
yeah, we're a bunch of kids. Like, we're gonna stop.
Well,
So
the joke's on us. They just stopped giving us the option.
Yeah.
No, so I don't have any objection to Hasbro wanting to do their own of the year thing for their products. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. They need to reframe it though away from the Hall of Fame thing, because the Hall of Fame originally was about real people who have been involved with the brand and giving them recognition by popular choice. It was also about characters in particular, like
Erector.
the nature of this has changed a lot, and it doesn't feel like this should be a Hall of Fame anymore, because it's just the revolving door of what do you like best from this product year, half of which you haven't had a chance to get your hands on yet.
exactly, it's like basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there was even a character selection this year. Was there for entry into the Hall of Fame?
No.
Just the favorite of the 13 primes, if you're calling that a character selection. But
And honestly, I was complaining about this yesterday in our Discord, tfradio.net/Discord. Come join us to watch me complain about things. The whole 13 primes thing is basically a non-starter for me, because none of them are characters. Like Vector Prime, sort of. He had a supporting role in a whole ass cartoon, but he's still hardly a character compared to the pantheon of Transformers out there, and the rest of them might as well not
Albatrion.
exist. Ish. I mean, the
But
problem
he,
there too
again,
is
had what, 4 appearances?
and the problem there too is Alpha Trion and Vector Prime have so much overlap in how they were portrayed in their series.
Mhm.
They might as well be the same guy.
Yeah.
And will probably be the same toy.
Yeah.
So I'll put it out there. I voted for Legion Maximo because Matt's right.
G2, yeah.
Yeah. I voted for Gears.
Absolutely.
And I voted for 2 toys that aren't even out yet because I didn't care about the other categories.
I voted for the Ratchet and Brawn Death Pack because I'm me.
Yeah, of course.
I will be honest. I believe Nightshade was on there, and it's like I'm really tempted to vote for Nightshade because that toy is one of
Actually,
is one of-
Actually, that's an Earthspark toy, and Earthspark toys aren't on this list.
I thought they were. Okay.
No,
Okay,
no, that's see, that makes it even worse because like they're just sticking into generation stuff, and they're not even like really addressing like
because I mean,
the same people who get generation stuff get the quote unquote main line, the core toy line stuff, and might want to be able to recognize that. To Brian's point, yes, like Legion Maximo is the correct choice for 13 Prime. I also checked off Gears for that. The Studio Series stuff, I have bought almost no Studio Series stuff this year. Like none of this stuff has any resonance to me, and even the stuff I've bought so far, I kind of don't feel like deserves a check mark here.
I mean, I voted for Springer, but just because I know Optimus Prime is going to win no matter what I vote for.
So I voted for.
Hmm.
I don't have it yet. I'll have it next week, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, like Springer is cool, but it's a cool like $40 toy, not the $60 toy that it actually is. Swoop is great, but completely unremarkable except for existing.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
still need to
You
get
know,
that.
yeah, Blade Raider in the chat brings up Party Wallop. It's like that should be on there because
It was.
It was.
It is on
Oh,
there,
it
Don.
was?
I think
I'm
it was
sorry.
the very first.
It was
choice.
on
I'm
the
sorry.
exclusives, but I voted
Yeah.
for the Retro Optimus Prime just because it's not out yet and I want it.
Okay. I was looking on my phone, so I may have missed something. I'm sorry.
yeah, the exclusives is the only thing where I feel like, okay, this is gonna be some kind of runoff for me personally, because like the Autobot multi-pack is a great choice. The GoBots 3-pack is a great choice. Party Wallop is amazing.
Yeah.
The Origins Wheeljack is on there too. That was a surprisingly really good toy considering what they
Yes.
had to do to make that happen. Like there's a bunch of choices on here that are really good, and like depending how you look at the purpose of these ballots, like if you take this as like the winning thing is going to be something they're encouraged to kind of follow up on or do more in the vein of because it had a good popular response. Like, what do you pick out of those things that actually is going to be productive for the next year or 2 years when they're looking at what to make next? Like,
Ratchet and Bronze Corpses.
Yeah.
I think
Wheeljack
out
and
of
Windcharger,
the ones on that list, Party Wallop stands out to me the most. But you look under that, and the other two choices are Agent Knight. I don't have it,
right?
and Autobot
I don't think anybody does.
Cup
No.
Triple T, which I don't have to really vote on it. I
Mhm.
mean, yeah, I like them in concept, but I
Yeah.
don't know if they're going to turn out to be decent toys or not. So the only one that I did vote for Optimus Prime for 86 line or the Studio Series line, just because I feel like I've seen enough of that toy that I know it's gonna be pretty good.
I think what they
Um,
need to do is not be positioning the Hall of Fame, quote unquote, for PulseCon in the fall. What they need to do is roll this forward to Pulse Fan Fest in early spring and have that be the recap of the previous year's product line so that everything that they want to have people vote for, everyone's had a chance to actually get and handle. I understand them wanting their whole year's product line being eligible for this, but placed in the fall like this is just, it's not good because it puts people off the way we are.
Yeah. So
The other thing they need to do, if you don't mind, Brian, the other thing they need to do is have an actual like Hall of Fame vote, and also just hold a consumer survey like grown-ups.
yeah, I agree. I
Yeah.
totally agree with the
Yeah.
consumer survey. But so for Chris though, this goes under almost certainly the marketing budget, and
Absolutely.
so this is marketing for the current line and not last
Yeah.
year's line. So
Yeah.
that's
That's
the wrinkle there.
definitely realistically that is true. Just like for what we want out of this though, it needs to be like, it needs to be like what we're doing, except like 2 months later, so we don't feel like we're stepping on each other's toes.
Yeah, cool. Okay, I want to talk about the next item because it's very important. Because I missed this last week. It's MPG 14 Minerva. Well, God Bomber, but it comes with like an itty bitty little Minerva.
Okay, so I believe MPG 14 itself does not come with the Minerva, but the
What?
MPG 14S.
Okay,
which is
that's
the one-
that's crazy. It's the catalog version of God
Well,
Bomber.
It can be the catalog version. They've put in 3 option pieces that you can swap onto it to make it look as close as possible to the unproduced prototype God
Do,
Bomber.
do we have the pricing on MPG 14S compared to MPG
Oh my
14? I know, Don. Like, I even want that.
I had the Takara
Don,
Mall
so for
page
people-
open earlier,
so for-
but-
Yeah,
So-
Don can finally get the toy he tried to order out of a catalog.
Yeah, so
30 years ago.
this is an audio podcast, so the listeners are missing out on just the sheer joy on Don's face.
No, it's not joy.
It looks like joy.
It's the
Consternation?
opposite of joy.
Consternation.
Pissed off is more like it. They
that's kind of like
put
consternation.
they put Cab, Minerva, and Shuta in the specialty set when they should be in the regular set, because that's the whole thing of God Bomber working with God Ginrai so the kids can help and not get killed.
Then why
You know,
don't
I might have been wrong. Actually, I'm looking at the summary of the regular MPG 14 release. It looks like it does actually come with the minifigures.
Okay,
So
good.
Okay.
retract your consternation and go back to off.
I was looking and I was so confused, and I was like, I don't know if I should say anything or just keep my mouth shut.
so
Well, Diecast, I have a suggestion in general for when you get that confusion.
Don, what do you think about the catalog version of God Bomber?
I like it. I like it, and I think it, with what I'm seeing right here, I think it really helps the look of, because we've all said there's just something not right with that Super Ginrai. There's just something that is uncanny valley off.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not crazy about it, but I have to say, so I missed this when this was breaking news last week after my internet died. I really like the way it looks when it's combined, and I did not like Super Ginrai so much.
It
I
helps.
agree 100%.
It helps a lot, but if this set here is, I've seen it for almost $200, listed $200,
Mhm.
and then you get Ginrai, Super Ginrai, which is $239, $279. So you're looking at almost $500.
You can
Don,
get you
we
can
don't
get
need
God
to do that
Ginrai.
math. We don't need to do that math.
you can get
Yes, we do.
you can get a vintage God Ginrai box set for less than that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I found the Takara Tomy Mall pages. So the regular MPG 14 is 25,000 yen. So like Don said, that's converting to close to $200 on import. It'll probably be around the 190 range when Pulse puts their pre-orders up. The MPG 14S is 29,000 yen, so an extra, $30 ish for the option parts, and I think this one exclusively comes with the famous Masterpiece flight stand parts.
Okay, so the good thing is you can get the kids with the regular
I think,
release.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, but I'll be honest, I still think it looks better, but not no $500. I'm sorry, it just not with the way Raiden turned out. And although this is a very different horse, it's still a combiner, and there's going to be a lot of weight on these parts. And I just don't have a lot of faith.
But let's be real here, Don. You're going to have to get you an MPG 14S just to have that prototype Ginrai, or God Bomber, excuse me.
We'll wait till see what Sergaia's got.
I'm done with Masterpiece. I'm not buying any more. This is tempting, but I'm not doing it.
But if
MPG 14S is a Takara Tomy Mall exclusive too, so if Surigaya does get any, it will be secondhand and marked up.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if anybody gets this and doesn't want the kids, please let me know.
Don loves the kids.
Episode title.
Let's start that again.
But it's nice to see the callback, even if it's somewhat ham-fisted.
Yeah, just to speak briefly before we move on to what Don was talking about how the proportions look better as God Ginrai than Super Ginrai. When you look at it, you can also see that is a big part of why Super Ginrai's proportions are what they are, because it gets the skirt armor for the God Ginrai mode above the hip joints, so it's not going to limit articulation very much.
Yeah, like looking at this put together, you can tell that they sacrificed some of Super Ginrai in order to make this work more prominently, because like when you get past a certain point in Master Force, he is just God Ginrai all the time.
Yeah.
And in Victory too, especially when he shows up before spoilers, dying. Like he's God Ginrai the entire time he appears in Victory.
Yeah. So it's like God Bomber was stuck to him. Well, God Bomber was basically kind of a drone.
Mm-hmm.
So he not like he had a spark or anything, but still he's pretty much like Jetfire in the movies. It's like I want to use you, and then we'll never talk about you again.
So in the Discord, Manikara said that the Legends God Ginrai box set has been selling for close to $500.
I'm aware.
I have to say, once I get my stuff out of storage, that might just have to go up on eBay because I don't much care for it. It's crap.
Yeah,
Maybe-
I'm not a fan of it, and I would sell it for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got that LG EX set, like maybe we'll have to talk about that at some point when you dig it out of storage.
It's crap. You don't want it.
I've had the toys before, and like I want them more than I want the masterpieces.
Yeah. Okay. So, Dramatic Capture Series Triple Takeover 3-pack official images. I like the way Starscream looks. I don't need to buy the toy for a 12th time.
Right.
I like how they all three look, but I just I can't bring myself to care that much.
Starscream looks like they've put a ton of paint on it.
Yeah. I love that toy, but
Well, Astrotrain has a lot of paint too, right?
but I hate that.
Well,
I hate Astrotrain though.
In a way, Astrotrain has less paint because there's no battle damage on this release. It's
True.
the first
Ah,
time.
yeah.
It's the first time it's come out as Astrotrain without battle damage on it.
Which kind of makes me want the whole set. Just, I mean, these is what we want.
These is what we want.
These are what we want. So, ugh.
I am almost certain there will be a Studio Series 86 Astrotrain at some point, and I will wait for that.
It has to be.
Yeah, you
Needs
would
more
think,
furniture.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but this set might actually be cheaper.
Yeah.
Well,
If
see, I'm
Is
not
it-
sure about
Commander
that.
class? Is that what you're saying? You think it'll be Commander class if they do one?
No, I'm saying that they'll want to make all these leader classes. So it might be around the same price, but it would be, I don't know, it'd just be close because they wouldn't do them as Voyagers.
Well, no,
Yeah.
I don't think they believe that they can get away with engineering triple changers as Voyagers anymore.
Yeah. This whole set is basically if I didn't have X,
Mhm.
then Y, because I don't want another Starscream. I don't want another Blitzwing because we're getting overcharged. If I'm going to have that mold twice,
Mhm.
I want them to be different. I've got Astrotrain and I've got lucky enough to get Galaxy Shuttle.
Mhm.
I don't want that Astrotrain a third time. So if I didn't have Coronation Starscream set, Overcharge wasn't coming out, and I didn't have the original Astrotrain, yeah, that set would be great. But these molds have been run so much, I can go get a Blitzwing now at 3 different stores if I wanted to get one tomorrow.
But it won't
Mhm.
look like this.
But that's
Close
just it, though.
enough.
It'll be close enough, and I don't. If I'm going to buy that toy again, I want the Overcharge because I don't have an Overcharge. I did not buy the hobby one.
Don, I thought this would be right up your alley because these are the better looking versions, and you
Well,
would
see,
just
I'm not-
eBay the other ones.
But that's just it. So is everybody else, and
Yeah.
nobody is going to really want a Blitzwing. They can go to Target or Walmart and still pick up on the shelf. They're not going to buy an Astrotrain that's decoratively less competent than what they're seeing there. And nobody wants Starscream because there's 8 at my local Walmart on clearance for $27 right now.
Wow, yours actually went on clearance.
This looks way
Yeah.
better than that one though.
It
It
does. It does. But are you it's just this is if I didn't have this set. That's the way it reads to me.
I also want to add a note here. When we were talking about this as breaking news last week at the end of the podcast, we only had small images taken directly from the Tokyo Toy Show, I think, display of these. We were talking about that it looked like Starscream's coronation shoulder pieces were remolded. That is actually not correct. They have been installed backwards. Those are the backside facing
Oh,
front. That's why it looks
nice.
different.
Yay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what is this Manju Netsuke Optimus Prime?
Something very expensive.
$4,500.
It's made of silver, you know.
Is it?
Silver and gold.
How much silver?
It doesn't say. So Manju Netsuke is it's a traditional like art form kind of thing. So this is a teeny tiny little thing because it's
yeah.
they call it a button fastener. This goes back to the 17th century in Japan, where, skilled craftspeople, artisans would make little ornamental things to use as buttons. And, to know someone who could do that and be able to hire them and pay for the manufacture of such a thing, they were, a vast status symbol for the people that could have them. And like it's kind of the same deal still, but this one's it's a transformer.
So looking at it, if it were solid silver and it's not, it would be about, I guess, about 10 ounces, and which would be about $300.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's one, not, and two, it's $4,500. Is it handmade?
50,000 yen. Yeah, yeah.
Each one is handmade.
Yeah, each one is made to order. Our best guess is that the artist who is doing this probably has cut cast forms for it in his own workspace, and the metal will be poured in the applicable places. Yeah, and whatever the other materials are that go into the construction will also be formed as needed rather than any kind of factory level production of these.
I mean, it's it looks kind of cool, and I'm for the people who are going to buy this, good on you, I guess. I just don't have any desire for it, obviously.
It made me feel really bad for Jack at T-Formers.
I was thinking Jack and Ender.
Yeah, Ender too.
Mm-hmm.
Like both of them are notable, dedicated Optimus Prime collectors, and I know for sure neither one of them would even consider spending $4,500 to get one of these, even if they didn't have to actually be physically present at the Transformers Expo in Tokyo during a 2-week period this month to actually place a pre-order for one.
Yeah.
I can imagine there's going to be some executive, maybe at Takara, wearing this, and they're carrying around tablet Soundwave just to complete the look.
Yeah, no, it's a really interesting thing, and the sample or prototype that we have the pictures of, it's cool looking. It definitely strikes me more like a Leo Convoy kind of thing than an Optimus Prime specifically. Some of the There Goes My Money guys were saying like Big Convoy too, kind of it's carrying a little bit, but it's cool. I'm kind of into it for the style, but not at this price. If they made something similar to this as a regular kind of, mass-produced product, it'd be something I, would think about at least, but damn, man, $4,500 for that little guy.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's see here. Next item, we have first looks at Studio Series Transformers 1, Bumblebee, and Alita 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
Bumblebee looks pretty okay.
It looks pretty okay.
Yeah.
I have to say, though, if this is the Studio Series and this is the more definitive look, those knives are stupid. It's cast in Allspark blue, and it looks like
it's probably cast in gray or gold and painted over blue.
Well, they're using the Allspark blue leftover from Power Core combiners.
You would think that would have all dried up, and well, that wasn't paint then; that was nylon, Don.
Oh well, at any rate, it's the same color, and those knives look stupid. I mean, they should have been done in a clear, a translucent, opaque.
Yes, I mean, famously, they can take opaque yellow plastic and just paint translucent paint over it, and make it clear.
Yeah.
I'm just saying they look preschool, and I usually don't say that about Transformer stuff because that's not fair because of budget concerns. But this is the Studio Series, and that's the one thing that sticks out to me. It's not the figure, it's not anything. It's those stupid knives, and they look like crap.
If it's the choice between that and there being a huge chunk of clear plastic on the toy that serves no purpose other than to let those blades be clear, bring me the painted swords.
That's true, and I'm sure
now they could have painted them like silver or something so they don't stand out the same way. But I will take some realistic considerations for this over
That's true. Well, I'm
having
sure.
unnecessary clear in a structural place, which probably would have happened otherwise.
And
I-
maybe they're blue in the movie, so there might be a purpose to the
Yeah, I mean,
to the blue.
I'm kind of guessing like the weapons are probably glowy in the movie, and this was the closest they could represent
Yeah.
that.
It just bugs me when I look at that. But I'm sure there'll be dozens of third party kits for all this movie stuff as it does. Now, Alita, I'm liking the looks of. That's a very interesting look for her.
And see, I'm looking at this thinking, wow, they really struggled to turn that movie design into an actual transforming thing.
Yeah. I mean, physics is a whatever, but
Girl Mistress, yeah.
yeah. But I mean, I think it looks pretty good. It's definitely interesting, although that looks like it's just her feet sticking out the back again.
Uh-huh.
And it's like the Bumblebee one that's out now has that same problem because when you fold the feet up, it's just large planks on the back. When you put the hood over, it kind of helps streamline the top a little bit. But I just wish they could do something with the feet.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Rob, have you looked at these pictures of these yet?
A little bit. I think the
Like, am
Bumblebee looks
I
decent.
crazy here, or is there like some Turn 8 Gundam in those rifles?
Yeah, it does. It does definitely kind of have that look to it. It is very, very streamlined.
I kind of dig it.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay. Some Australian retailer posted stock photos of retro Optimus Prime, 40th anniversary Optimus Prime today. And I still like it.
Yeah.
Even though I have all of these, my memory is horrible. There are no sticker sheets in any of these sets, right?
I don't believe so.
I don't think there is. So the inside of Optimus's trailer will forever go without the stickers that are desperately needed.
There's always toy hacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks
Boy.
really bare without those stickers.
that is a lot of flat Games Workshop gray plastic.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't include the stickers for this one. Just at least the ones that you're talking about for the inside of the trailer.
I mean, I guess since this is cartoon themed, and the like one time you ever see anything interior of his trailer, it's just gray.
Yeah.
Because they weren't
Yeah.
gonna draw and animate all those little details. Obviously, like I guess they're going for accuracy to that more
Yeah.
than representation.
I like that. I like that it's different than any other Optimus that I have, even though it's very much the same.
I like those colors. I do
Yeah,
like
me
those
too.
colors.
Me too.
Yeah.
Is this a Walmart exclusive then?
They all are, aren't they?
with limited quantities available on Hasbro Pulse.
Yeah.
Okay, so-
in
so
the
we're-
U.S.
So we're
Yeah.
guessing PulseCon. It'll be released around PulseCon for order.
So it was listed as possibly. It was listed as a toy for this year on the Hall of Fame vote, which and that's
Yeah.
why I voted for it. Yeah, I don't know. I still really like it, but man, it is really boring looking inside.
This is gonna sound really silly, but like I'm looking at the package photo they have in here too, and like I kind of like the facelift on the Optimus box art representing the new colors. Like it's shiny and just kind of pops in a certain way.
It
that
does.
box
It's-
art.
It does.
Again, it's that G1 art that it rings a bell with most of all of us that were there for G1. And we all have the box art book. It's something about that entire dynamic, the box, the look, the start, change, finish, the battle scene on the back. You've got to have that for these retro issues. It's just, I wish, like you said, Brian, the trailer just wasn't just, ugh.
It's very
Empty,
plain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
devoid.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that this is probably, I don't know if we know price on this, but I can see this being almost the same price as the Perfection series or whatever they were calling that.
Perfection
Missing
series.
Yeah.
So 120-ish bucks. So the toy was released a couple years ago without the trailer for 50.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, we're probably around $100. Yeah.
Which I have to say, because if this is a Walmart exclusive, there's no telling if the stores will, one, even get it, two, if they get it whenever it goes out, when they can find a spot, and three, how fast will it will not go on clearance.
I can't wait to buy about 70 of them for $5 on Walmart.com.
I mean, it's literally a crapshoot on this Walmart stuff.
I will if it goes down to $5, I'll buy 70 of them.
Okay, so like Soundwave and Blaster both have been released and were available on Walmart's website. There is no sign of them in the physical stores. And, you know, after so many places had the movie edition Starscreams just languishing and weren't even able to get successive waves of that in, like, I feel like Don's probably right. There's probably not going to be a lot of motivation at the corporate level to planogram any of that stuff back into the valuable shelf space.
Because
Yeah.
my local Walmart redid their toys section, and as of right now, there is nothing about the Star Seeker collection. It's just movie and the more recent deluxe waves, and there's no Star Seekers.
Yeah,
No.
the TF1 stuff hitting at the same time the Starseeker should have is kind of cutting back on available shelf space.
There's
Yeah.
but here's the thing: there's empty hooks in that section, and the way, if I'm reading the tags right, it should be for the other Starseeker stuff, but there's nothing showing up. So either it's not in yet, or it's supposed to be worked in.
It's in the network because mine shipped and were delivered to my other house today.
I mean, for all we know, too, like, we liked the Toxitron collection, the G2 thing, a lot because we're us. It obviously had troubled sales. There was tons of it just laying around up until like a month ago.
Oh, mine still
Like-
has them.
Okay. Like, it's entirely possible we're not going to see that stuff show up on store shelves either, and the vast bulk of it is just going to end up at Ross's at the end of the year, like happened during the last night when Walmart had piles of exclusive stuff lined up and they just declined to stock any of it in the stores. Some of it you could get on Walmart.com starting from when it was supposed to be available, but like physical store space was not given to it.
After odd.
Yeah.
So like I said, it's gonna be a crapshoot. If you want it and you see it, you better get it. It's FOMO, but there's nothing we can do about that.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Leaked Super 7 reaction listings. Hopefully not blind boxed. Starscream's Ghost.
Not yet.
Metallic Grimlock, Prototype RC, G2 Devastator, and Arc playset. Please say the Prototype RC is what I think it is.
Orange and pink.
I bet. Unfortunately, I'm sure there won't be a new mold for it. 'cause-
Probably not.
Oh,
Yeah,
so it's not Chrome Dome.
Oh no.
It'll just be the RC figure done in those colors, and the Devastator will be just a recolor. Although I will admit that Devastator is a pretty good looking figure for a Super 7 reaction.
I think this one's going to come out in yellow though. Unfortunately,
Oh no, that's fine. I mean,
it is not fine.
Well,
G2 Devastator is orange, and everybody else is
yeah.
wrong.
okay. Here's the thing: if we don't get anything, at least we've got yellow for G2. If we don't get anything at all, at least that's better than nothing for a G2 representation.
Anyway, I like the way Brian's thinking. I hope they do a reaction Chrome Dome then, so we can get other concept RC.
Yeah, I would my rather than Chrome Dome, what I want is an actual representation of that RC prototype in the same way that we got one of Unicron, because it looks like something out of Katamari Damacy.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, definitely. But since this whole wave minus the arc playset seems to be about just, shoveling out recolors of the assets they already have, unfortunately, that seems unlikely.
The arc playset could be very interesting though.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what that turns out being, because if it is like a reasonable playset environment scaled to reactions, that would also be good for, say, core class toys.
Yeah, so I want to point out that Starscream's Ghost, the Ultimates toy, is one of the ugliest, worst toys I've ever purchased.
It certainly is.
And I can't imagine like a smaller, crummier version of it.
I mean, because that was so far. Because I brought this up, I've sent Super 7 an unpolite letter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, it was polite, but it was verging on the edge of I'm I'm not happy. About Hot Wing looking so different than their original solicitations, and product and styles may vary, can only cover so much. That Starscream, when it was suggested and when we saw the promo pictures, it looked pretty good. The final product was absolute garbage.
It's
So that's,
arguably the worst Transformers related toys that I have ever purchased.
and
Wow.
and
Wow.
it's just the fact that, and like I said, products may, decorations may vary. That only covers so much before it's like, this is not even the toy you even come close to promising.
Okay, but then like there's always the infamous God Bomber incident, Don. Like,
Well, that was a different time, and there's not this sense of instant communication. So stuff like that should have been caught now
Yeah.
versus then.
Yeah. Okay. Did we mention the ARC playset?
in passing,
It's
yeah.
an ARC playset. We don't know what that means yet.
Yeah, like we know the least about that because like that's the thing that's actually like a new thing that they're making.
Unless the ARC playset is just like one of the other toys, like Optimus or Megatron, that's just like painted like mountain colored, like rock colored and bronze. It
I
could be something
wonder-
like that.
Do you think maybe it's going to be a cardboard?
Imagine
Stop
something
it.
cheap.
Stop it.
Imagine
No,
the
no.
cheapest. Imagine the cheapest thing you can, and then go cheaper.
No. I'm just saying it's an ARC playset, but it doesn't have to be out of plastic reaction plastic. It's an exclusive reaction figure to that set, and you pull out and you unfold the ARC playset like you would.
Can you kick
paper
Don off the
craft.
call?
I think
please?
Don's. I think Don's
I think
not
Don's
far off.
probably on the right track, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, but if they're going to go with the 80s Kenner aesthetic, I demand a 1980s playset. Lots of plastic, lots of like heavy duty decorations on the walls, lots of action features, gigantic, and probably only cost about, at most $29.99 back then.
Playmates is releasing the classic Ninja Turtles Technodrome playset this year, and like what I saw, it's priced around $80. So
That's
like,
not bad.
It's really not.
No.
They
So-
did scale it down a little bit.
Did they?
Did they?
Did they?
Yes.
Is it actually new tooling?
It's scaled down, like, but not a whole lot.
So is it
only
the
a
is
little
it is it
bit.
the second smaller Technodrome that you're doing?
The picture I saw was the original.
It looks like the original, but if you look at if you read the comments on it and stuff, it's actually scaled a tad
Okay,
bit
so like
smaller.
if it's comments that you're basing this on, maybe people just don't realize that they were a lot smaller when they had this.
Yeah, that's
No.
true.
As big as they thought.
That is absolutely true.
No,
People,
Yeah.
Because that original Technodrome toy is not as big as you think.
No, the sewer playset by volume is actually a fair bit bigger than the Technodrome. I had
I
both.
believe it.
I had both. I was a horrible spoiled child.
Yeah. Well, now, it's sort of like today. I was at Target on the way home from work. They had the Power of the Primes Prime right beside the current leader class Skyquake,
Oh dear.
and it's like, how are these two toys the same price?
Uh-huh.
And my brain cannot wrap around how do they re-release this Optimus Prime
Although,
that has a whole second figure stuck in the back at the same price as a current leader. I just don't know how they did it. So it could be a similar situation with the Technodrome.
do you recall, Don, that when those Power of the Primes leaders came out, leaders were $42.99.
Were they I thought they were 49.
No, they
Okay,
didn't.
okay. I didn't think the price jump was that much. Okay.
I think they became $49.99 with the first Siege leaders, but the Power of the Primes ones were like 42 to 43.
Okay, I
So-
was thinking they were already 49.
so
at the time.
jumping to the Discord, two comments, both from Blade. One, he said the new reissue Technodrome is 30% smaller. So that sounds like a metric that was provided. I don't think he's pulling that out of the air.
Mhm.
But also he mentioned that crazy flying base that Super 7 tried to do for G.I. Joe, the Cobra base. He's like, it could be something like that. So hopefully not.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah.
That's what I was assuming. I wasn't assuming any cardboard piece of garbage.
I think it's
but
going to be a cardboard piece of garbage.
if it's
Well, Blade's
cardboard
posted
piece of
some
garbage,
images in the Discord too of various other reaction playsets, and they are
Was it
cardboard
cardboard piece of
garbage.
garbage?
Yeah.
I will buy it just to beat Don with it because it will be forever his
so-
fault.
Okay.
So I don't think you're gonna beat Don with it. You might slap him a little bit with it, but like I don't think this cardboard piece of garbage is gonna be a very useful bludgeon.
I forgot about the Planet of the Apes one that he just shared with from the Forbidden Zone with the Statue of Liberty in the background. I actually really wanted that. I hate that I never picked it up.
That is some Dollar Tree looking nonsense.
I love it. I love it.
And Diecast, you can beat me with that, and I will beat you. Oh, that's right. I don't have my Supreme Cheetor anymore because I smashed it with a hammer.
Diecast has you one anyway. He can get you. So
I mean, if he loans you the shipping carton that the Arc playset comes in, it will probably be a better weapon than what he's using. So,
Well, that'll work.
and you know, as the one being challenged, you get to pick the weapons anyway.
this is true. So we have new in-hand photos of a few toys: Gamer Edition Ratchet, Legacy Quake, and Legacy Animated The Motor Master.
Ratchet looks a lot smaller than I was expecting it to. That's a Voyager.
Oh, it does look tiny.
Which, I mean, I feel like just even though the details are not a match by any stretch, just like the overall styling is, maybe it will go well with Drift if you need a Ratchet for your More Than Meets the Eye Lost Light crew.
I was kind of thinking along that line when we first heard about this. Yeah.
Yeah, so, but yeah, that is kind of small for a Voyager.
Yep.
And
That's-
he doesn't have a lot of stuff with him to make up the Voyager Plus price point.
Yeah,
Which-
it's weird. Like it doesn't. I'm not seeing where there could be a lot of like build complexity in it either to make up for that. So it just seems like a shortchanged Voyager because theoretical robot scale, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because look at underneath. Other than those ports being weapon storage, perhaps there's not a lot going on there. It's
Did he ever actually use an axe in War for Cybertron, or does he just come with Optimus Prime's axe because reasons?
something to fill out the price point. It still wasn't enough.
No,
Yeah, that's a good question, actually.
I haven't played that in forever.
As
So,
far as I recall, he wasn't even a playable character.
oh well, there you go.
In which game?
War for Cybertron.
Oh, I don't remember. I never.
You know,
That white plastic almost looks like that glow in the dark plastic. And I just think that'd be really cool if it was like glow in the dark gamer edition.
Oh, that would be
Actually-
fun, actually.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the last two pictures in the set, which are from a different instance, the white looks whiter. So I think that's mostly just a lighting result.
yeah. I mean, he looks good, but I may cancel my pre-order and wait until I actually see him in the stores because
So
Yeah, because like you see him here next to like Cliffjumper and Bumblebee, and we know already full well that the Gamer Edition Cliffjumper and Bumblebee are pretty small themselves, and it's only a little more than a head taller than those. Like that's concerning.
I don't want to go down a rabbit hole, but I do want to point out one thing. So, has Mattel and Playmates have the crossover Ninja Turtle figures, and Hasbro has the relationship now with Mattel. I would love for like a Transformers crossover Masters of the Universe Scare Glow that glowed in the dark. I would love that. Okay, what about Quake? What do you think about Quake?
I like the Titans Return one better still.
Same.
Yeah, something feels
Yeah.
off about it.
I wish I'd gotten
The
it.
colors are wrong in the Legacy one.
Yeah.
the colors are wrong, and it's folded up tank like Quake was, but in all the wrong ways.
Yes. Yes.
Because Quake was a folded up tank, but his mass the original Quake mass went to places. The arms became the turret. The legs cantilevered up and became the size of the tank. It was very simple, but it looked like a tank should. This is folded robot origami when you couldn't figure out the transformation, you just start squeezing stuff together, hoping something finally falls into place.
Yeah, like
That's
this is when you had an old road map before Google Maps was a thing, and you got the whole thing spread out to try to figure out where you were going, and then you couldn't remember how it folded back together in the first place, and you just kind of jam it back into a little square so it's not all over the place, but you can tell it feels wrong when you hold
Yeah.
it from then on.
You know what
Yeah,
I want to
it's
see?
made-
Sorry, Rob, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is another version of the Skullgrin mold, which
It is.
It is.
I really like that mold. And it's a really nice figure. It feels really good, and it turns into a nondescript rectangle. This is a nondescript rectangle not pulling off a tank cosplay.
Yeah. You know what? I want to see a third party create just an overlay shell that just goes on top of that, clips to the sides of those 5mm ports on each side to make it look like the old Quake.
You want a throw cover for Quake.
Yes.
I mean, I think I can explain it for the people that aren't seeing the pictures of
Yeah.
Quake. Instead of a tank is supposed to be wide and short. And this is not wide and tall. So it's it's not very tank-like. It's
There-
the
there
least
were
tank
real-
I've ever seen.
There were real life tanks with a silhouette very much like this. They generally did not have the big main guns like that because they were closer to World War I era and were usually intended to break through fortifications rather than to be a mobile ranged weapons platform like we think of tanks today.
Right. And
That is
Mhm.
either way, that's not right for Quake, but tanks
Yeah.
like this did correctly exist.
yeah,
Yeah.
I just want Quake to look like Quake, and this looks like Quunk.
It would it would to be honest, it would look better even if they just actually managed to hide the blue on the underside the way that the original Quake did, and give
Yeah.
a more uniform, look to the vehicle mode. But just
Okay. Well, if Dr. Wu, Non-F, somebody watches this, please make me a throw cover for Quake because he really needs it.
I mean, that's basically like a vehicle mode pretender shell at this point, the
Yeah.
way you're describing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, we want Mega Pretender Quake.
Yeah, just make us a larger hollow Quake to hide this toy in so we don't have to look at it.
Yeah, that's
Well,
right.
I'll get behind that. Pretender Quake, I'll take it.
So Matt, what do you think about Animated Legacy The Motor Master?
I mean, I love it personally. Like that Optimus Prime is a really good toy, and Transformers Animated is the best series.
It's a good head sculpt.
It is.
Yeah.
It looks great.
They really just for a black Optimus repaint. At least it's something different, and I don't think any of us could be tired of the Motor Master.
I think one of the things that helps this so much is that it is, of course, on a toy designed to be the original character it was remolded from, and it's not the weird game of Legacy Telephone we get into sometime where it is a recolor of a toy that was pretending to be another toy that was vaguely similar. It's just, yeah, this really does look nice.
And this
I'm-
doesn't need a Pretender shell.
No,
Does
No.
not. No.
I
does
am a
not.
little sad that there aren't any other animated molds to get the rest of the Stunticons from.
Oh yeah,
I was
Yeah.
thinking about that.
I was thinking there's no way the third party company could make even just shells of Stunticons to get us some kind of animated Minosaur out of that, because I don't know how they would connect to this as a torso. But if this is the only animated Stunticon we get, I'll be happy with that, if nothing else.
Cool. Can we jump to what we got this week?
Sure,
Who wants to go first?
I will.
Chris.
So I got the worst $11 I've ever spent on Transformers this week.
Oh wow.
It's Studio Series Steeljaw. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Matt knew where I was going with that. He held his up at the same time.
Where'd you get it?
Came from
Pulse.
Pulse. Yeah.
Okay.
So, wow, this is just so as a cassette, it certainly is a yellow rectangle. It's all downhill from there. Where do I even start with this? We knew the backpack, the wings, and the tail were a separate piece. They parts form, and there's nowhere to put that in the cassette mode. It just sits off to the side the same way the subwoofer thing does. Take that off, and there's hardly anything to this anymore. It's a super, super basic transformation also, and there's no posability to speak of. They're selling it in the same category as Rumble and Frenzy, but those were actually a little bit more functional as independent toys, I think. This, once you get it into the Lion mode, all you can really do is just set it down and let it stand there, because that's all it's good for. I've also heard since this started shipping, you can't actually fit this in Blaster's chest compartment.
Great.
Ah,
I've not
Perfect.
attempted.
There is a fix for it though.
Yeah, it involves trimming plastic off of Steeljaw.
That's not a
Thank you.
fix. That's not a fix.
That's
How
a
did they-
modification.
how did that happen? Like,
Yeah, there's like on one end there's like extra little projections, just little tiny extra bits, but it's enough that when you try to fit it down to Blaster, there's not enough clearance, and either it's gonna go crooked and you can't close the door, or it's gonna bend the sides of the tape door. So you can close it, but it's warping the plastic then. The other little quibble here too is that like the one clever thing it kind of does, the like one credit I'll give it, I like the way they have the lion head and the mane split down the middle. So for cassette mode, it all lays flat, and then you get like some dimensionality to it in the lion mode. The problem is the peg and hole that's supposed to like hold the lion head together doesn't engage at all. They're little tiny and shallow, and they don't click or anything. Like there is no interaction between them. The hinges are sturdy enough that generally the lion head does not go like flapping apart on its own, but like it is not held together at all, and there is gap that you cannot close in that because it won't stick.
And here's the thing. This is the same price point that we got that Starscream, that Optimus, the G2 Megatron
3 years ago, yeah.
3 years ago. And this is the same price point, and this is what we get now for a cassette that doesn't really work.
Yeah, pretty much. Another interesting point about this, I was able to get Steeljaw, the subwoofer, and the little paper accessories bundle out of the package without ever opening the package. I was able to take it all out through the front window of the box. So, like,
Fantastic.
so it's probably not a big deal since I don't think Walmart and Target actually carry core class anymore. So there's not going to be a chance for them to be thefted off of the shelf. But like, this is probably one of the most stealable core class toys ever.
Well, my target on that Transformers 1 end cap has a metric crap ton of the Galvatrons, of the Beast Machines Cheetors, of the Tasmanian. So they still have the core price point on the mod.
Uh-huh.
But Walmart, I haven't seen that the few times I've been there lately. So if you see it, I mean, it's possible GameStop still carries the core class because they've got a lot of the same figures Target does. But that's just an extreme disappointment. I mean, I haven't even opened mine yet, and I'm disappointed.
Manny Carey is asking if it's worse than Earthrise Ravage. I actually think Earthrise Ravage is technically better because Earthrise Ravage fits in Soundwave. It is very technically better than this.
I still disagree because Earthrise Ravage is still Earthrise Ravage.
I mean, yeah. But also Earthrise Ravage, it doesn't have the parts for him.
does the speaker work on Blaster at least?
No, Diecast, it's just a piece of plastic. It's not an actual speaker.
No, I mean,
I
does
think
it
he means
fit?
does it fit?
Yes.
Yeah, it's just a 5mm peg. Like that's
Yeah.
you know.
Okay,
And-
well, it's just a
Not
cassette, but it doesn't fit in Blaster, so
Okay, but the 5mm peg system it's not completely foolproof, but at this point it's pretty damn reliable.
But I mean, I think it's designed to just slide over his fist as well.
yeah, there's a cavity on there to do that. So like there's options for that and it will work.
So, what's the over under on the other speaker coming with ram horn, and will it be?
I'm sure it will absolutely come in that set.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
Seems
but
likely.
if we still have core class, so we got another one of these to look forward to.
So Ramhorn, I think, is coming in a multi-pack with yet another re-release of Studio Series Perceptor. Yeah. So
The real question is, what's the over under that Ramhorn is just a retool of the Steeljaw?
Oh, don't say that.
oh cripes.
Don't say that.
Please don't. Yeah.
he's probably right.
Wasn't there a Decepticon use of the mold of the ram horn mold?
For Masterpiece, I think.
That was the Steeljaw mold, Night Stalker, and I don't think it was a Decepticon though.
Okay.
It might not have. Yeah, but it was a Masterpiece set that it came out in. What that one time that Takara tricked us into thinking that a blaster was going to be forthcoming. How silly.
Yeah, like
Uh,
God, almost a decade ago. Yeah.
yeah.
Was it really? Jeez.
Okay, so moving up from Steeljaw because it's hard to get worse than that. I got Studio Series 86 A level Bumblebee.
Cool. Where'd you get it?
Amazon. They
Okay.
had it. They had it briefly marked down to like $21, and I had a few dollars of Amazon rewards credit to throw
Yeah,
at it.
real
So I got
quick,
it.
they are also showing up at Walmart's. I saw
Yeah,
PDQs out today for Transformers One, and the Studio Series 86 Bumblebee is on there as well.
yeah. I actually
Nice.
the same day that I ordered this one off of Amazon, I went to Walmart and saw them hanging up on the pegs there. So they are definitely out and about. I actually got this for about $19 after applying my account credits to it. So you know, for a toy of this size, that's definitely a little bit more palatable than the full, 24.97 that it would have otherwise been. Um, it's pretty okay. I think I still like the Netflix Bumblebee the best for like, the modern takes on Bumblebee. But I am privileged in a way to have a Netflix Bumblebee to compare it to. And, in reference to the other Bumblebee options of the last few years, like I think the next most recent one was from one of the 4 packs, and it was just yellow cliff jumper basically with the Netflix Bumblebee head on it. Like it wasn't a great Bumblebee unto itself. And there was the Titans Return one from a few years ago too, which was fine, but one of the Titans Return legend scale things which had to be like massively hollow and unstable to fit a Titan Master in. Um if this is, the first modern Bumblebee that you reasonably have a chance to get hold of, like it's not bad in that context. The
Just a little
robot,
bit boxy for in the car mode.
yeah, like that's kind of the biggest knock against it is that like even for a cartoon inspired car mode, the cartoon was still rounder in the back, but like I know they had to make some concessions to keep it far enough away from Volkswagen and not have to pay to use it every time.
And to
And
keep it cheap
also
enough to reuse.
exactly. Yeah, I could absolutely see with like new feet slash hood parts, get this as a bumper in a couple of years. There's definitely some cliff jumper in its future, I would say.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Probably hubcap.
Yeah, I do like that, and then a gold bug. We'll probably get a gold bug from that with maybe a new head. But I do like the little kind of automorph on the. That's what I'm calling it on the feet when you kind of pivot everything down and everything, like the Autobot symbol gets hidden in robot mode and the parts sort of slide out. I
Yeah,
do.
the little panel work on there's kind of neat like
Yeah,
that. Um, the transformation I'm not a huge fan of. I think it's a little bit more complicated than it needs to be at its size, which I know I hate myself for saying they should make this tiny deluxe a simpler toy, but like it's a little bit of a pain to get some of the stuff to line up. It's doing a lot of the same stuff the Earthrise and Netflix molds were doing, but it's like doing it at that much smaller of a scale and like a tighter compression that some of the stuff just does not quite want to go smoothly. And one problem I have that I cannot seem to resolve is the door panels are kind of pushing inward a little bit. The car is not exactly squaring up, it's kind of pinched in the middle where it seems like the panels should be clipping in and forming a smooth surface, but there is like gaps that I just cannot stop from forming. Um, when you do get the car mode together, like it comes together solid and pretty sturdy. The gaps are more of a cosmetic complaint than like the toy is unstable in this mode because of them. It's just like it seems like it's trying to be a little bit too complex in engineering for at least the volume that it occupies when it's in the vehicle mode. Like, the space is getting increasingly smaller and you're having to work more at the stuff in that smaller space. And it's not the most fun process. Also, while I am certainly appreciative that there's no clear plastic on this, it does, of course, have the issue where like there's the opaque black for the windows. They have to paint yellow over that, and it's a very thin coat. And like one more coat of yellow topped up over that would fix that right up, and that's something that's relatively easy to do if you're so inclined. But like, I just kind of hate that it comes out default looking the way it does, because it looks dingy, kind of, I guess. Like, it's not covering over the black fully, and it's just bleeding through, and it just doesn't look very nice.
You know, we were we
Um,
were we were talking earlier about pretender shells. As small as that Bumblebee is, if a third party did a pretender shell for him, it would probably be real popular.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, in a world where there is a Bumblebee for all seasons, I don't know how necessary this one is specifically,
I mean,
but
you can always ask Fans Project how popular third-party combiners or pretender shells are.
True. But I did get those shells, and I got all 6 at a real good price.
if you didn't have a chance to pick up a Netflix Bumblebee, this is the next best thing that you can get in the current like design style and scale range. I am always going to be a huge fan and proponent of 2006's Classics Bumblebee. That's a wonderful toy and a great Bumblebee. But for something modern that fits in with a modern collection, like, if you don't have Netflix, get this. Like, it's good enough. It's good enough in the way that, like, you're not going to think, oh, well, this is just a placeholder till the next best Bumblebee comes along. Like, this will do for you. The Netflix one just is always going to be the best to me. The last thing I got was Road Pig, Star Raiders Road Pig. This shipped from Walmart, and they actually sent me the right thing.
Oh wow.
Yes, wonder of wonders. I didn't get a Scooby-Doo t-shirt or a box of candles. Both of those are true stories. Only one of them is mine, though. So, like, I'm actually kind of pleased with how this turned out, because thinking back to like Toe Line from the Scraphook mold, it was so obvious that, like, yeah, this is a green Junkion. It's not like, it doesn't fit as another character or a different kind of character. Road Pig makes me think that when they were doing the original of this mold, they were being more mindful of how they would have to reuse it later on and making it be compatible for non-Junkion characters. And it really works for what they're trying to do here. Now, obviously, the original Road Pig was a completely different model of motorcycle and had like a big windshield and everything, which they couldn't really replicate here. But they got the color layout really packed in there nicely. The gold that they've got for an accent color is coming across really nicely. They made the exhaust pipes clear to emulate the laser rod weapon from the original toy. Like, everything they could do to try to tie this back into the G2 original, they did. And like, they accomplished a lot just through deco changes and a new head, which turned out really nicely. And like, I'm very pleased that it is its own unique mold, different from Laser Cycle Jazz or Road Rocket, because they could have very easily cheaped out on that and just transplanted that into this, because they're of the same style. And I think if they had done that, we would have accepted it. But like, it's great that it does have its own distinct face shape. Um, this the one thing I have against it is just that this mold, transforming it into motorcycle mode, is kind of an exercise of massaging parts into their final resting places, rather than everything kind of feeling like it snaps in and has a set place that it's going. Once you get it there and you can clip the other parts around it to kind of shore it up, it's fine. It's just the getting there that's a little bit fiddly for me, and I've never entirely enjoyed that process. But like, this is a great G2 reference. I'm glad to have this as a follow-up to the Toxitron collection. I still do want the same thing, the same retooling again as Soundwave, as Sideways, Robot Masters Double Face. Like, I will take more versions of this as what this is trying to be. Like, it turned out really well, and I'm quite pleased with it. I think at this point, the only thing I'm still thinking about getting from the Star Raiders collection is Ferric, maybe. Um, you know, Whenever that actually shows up on shelves, be it at a Walmart or a Ross in 6 months, like, I'll snag me one of those. But I think basically I'm done with the collection. Aside from that, this is not something I really wanted to go all in on. But the pieces that mattered to me and the ones that I still have my eye on, like it's some good stuff they put in there, and they did a really good job on those pieces. So like good going on this capsule, I think. I think that covers everything I got this week.
Cool. Diecast, you get anything?
Yeah, I actually got my new favorite little figure, and it's one of the Doctor Wu figures. It's Doctor Wu Einstein, which is Brains. Is that
Yeah.
his name from
Yeah.
Dark
The
of the Moon? Just a great transforming toy, very intuitive. It makes a pretty decent laptop, and it's just really fun to transform, and it works really well, and the colors are really good and vibrant on it, especially for like his hair. They got his face sculpt is great. I have it on my Twitter. I actually left it in the car. But he is really surprisingly good. Like, when you order a figure and you're like, this is probably okay. And I'm like, man, I really like this. So that's a really good figure. I finally got my masterpiece new Soundwave with Ratbat, which is of course Sound Blaster.
So are we talking about Takara? Or are we saying this is like a third party one, or
No, it's Takara.
is it a KO?
Oh no, wait, I'm sorry.
It should be Robot Paradise, right?
It's Fans Toys.
Fans Toys, yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Because I'm like, that came out a long time ago.
Yeah, no, I forgot. It's Fans Toys, and then I got the cassettes that came out with the Stegosaurus, the
little
Slugfest and Overkill.
and the drone.
yeah, and the drone and all that stuff. I haven't opened it yet because I was in Pittsburgh for the last like 2 days. But I got that, and then I also got a hog, a road pig. That turns into a hog. Because hogs is another word for motorcycle. And I think that is all I got this week.
Cool. Don?
Yeah, not a lot. I got Steeljaw.
Don threw it for people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that'll make it better. The impact.
I only looked up in time to see him just make the waving hand gesture, and I was just being dismissive of it after I burned it to hell.
I got Road Pig as well. Just came today, so I haven't had a chance to open them. Also came today while I was here for lunch. Thanks to Sergaya, I got the new Deluxe Earthspark Elita 1.
Okay.
Nice.
Yep. Well, Deluxe Warrior. I guess this will be the deluxe version.
Okay, so
because the other one.
Yeah, it's semi-new. It's the existing Warrior class toy that Hasbro released last year with retooling and like extra accessories to make up for. The Warrior Elite had an action gimmick with built-in guns. This has separate guns and no action gimmick. I think they retooled the neck and put a new head on it.
Yeah. So it was different enough that I wanted to get it. And with Earthspark being kind of who knows what's going on right now in the US, I wanted to at least get her to make sure I had her in the collection.
Mhm.
The last thing I got again today from Toy Easy from Shozy Store. It's I believe it's the last piece of their warship combiner. This is one of the destroyers. It's the arm of the combiner. I also got the bonus kit, which includes a couple of extra landing craft, smoke effects, smoke screen effects, things like that. So I believe I'm able now to finally do the combiner. I just have to sit down and do all the figures.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I thought this was the Wisconsin. They're doing the USS Wisconsin, but it is pending coming in. I thought it was the one that had shipped. So, but that's all I got on topic this week.
Matt?
So I also got Steeljaw. One of the major issues I have with it, I don't like the separate piece with the tail. Like, I think that's really unfortunate. But the worst part is it has the wings attached to it with little blasters on the end, and the main is wider than the range of the blasters. So
boy.
he'd be like shooting himself in the back of the head, basically.
Well, that's kind of how it feels playing with this.
Yeah. So they broke up. Like the G1 toy had the leg blasters and the wings were one piece. I would have preferred that they had gone that way and just like kept it all, one piece for each side and just had them as separate pieces. Like Rumble and Frenzy, their blasters are separate. They're not integrated in. I think they should have gone that same way with Steeljaw. I think it would have helped. Other than that, I mean, he is what he is. Chris was pretty thorough in his description. Today I picked up Legacy Cybertron Hotshot.
Ah,
Not bad, not bad. I was a little surprised to find that the door panels on his arms are just stuck on with 5mm ports.
that is a surprise.
yeah,
You'd expect
yeah,
them to be like pinned in or something.
Yeah, one would think. And the one on his right arm has some nasty stress marks underneath of it.
Ah, swell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, nice toy.
And if they're like separate parts, somebody's going to get at least one hot shot with two with the wrong one or two of the same one.
Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that when it was on sale at Target a few weeks ago, and it's like it's the exact same toy as the original Cybertron toy.
Except
I mean,
a
it's
lot more articulated. Like he's
Yeah.
got all
Missing the
sorts
gimmicks.
of articulation.
yeah. But I mean, as far as the transformation, Blade Raider was saying the exact same thing in the chat to give him credit. And he thinks he thinks that was a positive for the articulation, but the transformation does absolutely nothing new. So I just passed on it completely.
Yeah. I also got Road Pig from Walmart. Quite nice. Like I love these. Like a couple of these are going to go on my Junkion shelf as well. It doesn't matter what color he is.
Mhm.
They will be mishmashed into Junkion combiners. So the one thing that I noticed about it is even with the addition of the clear plastic, like the back half of his head is clear plastic, but it does not translate into light piping
Yeah.
at all. So I don't know if like the front and back are completely separate halves. Like if the eyes were part of the back, that would translate to light piping. I don't know if they are or not, but they are completely painted over. I can't tell if they're part of the front or the back.
I think the head is one single piece because on mine, the red on the front is a thin enough coat that it looks just slightly translucent when I hold it up to the light. I think they just went a little bit too heavy with the paint in the eye sockets, or the way they painted it over. The black is masked over solid over that, and then they add the red on top of that. So I think it's just a misfire with the paint that the light piping ended up not working.
Yeah, you would think there would be light piping, but you would be mistaken because there is none.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, his shoulders are very, very glossy black. They are actually molded in red and painted over. So repeated transformations of this, you're probably going to start to lose some black paint. Mine does have a little bit of overspray on silver paint here and there. But I mean, like I say, he's going to be a Junkion, so I'm not really that concerned with paint botches. And I also got Lego Bumblebee.
Okay.
Oh,
So he is popping up on Walmart shelves. So he's should be readily available for anybody that's looking. And that's everything on topic.
I will look forward to hearing more about your thoughts on Lego Bumblebee when you've had a chance to put it together.
Same. Rob?
Only got one thing on topic this week. I also got Studio Series 86 Bumblebee because I saw when I think it was Manny Cara in our Discord, tfradio.net/Discord, posted the link while it was on sale.
I think you're right. Thank you, Manny.
And I think Chris is right about just about all of it. It's a cute little toy. I like that it transforms without parts forming. I like that it's got a little bit of inspiration from the Churro Q penny racers that Takara Tomy based the original micro change molds on. And it is really pushing my limit for how much I will accept small size with more elaborate engineering at the deluxe price point. I don't know why. It's just like I don't know that it's significantly smaller than any of the other, deluxe mini car characters we've gotten lately, but it just feels smaller. I guess.
It does.
Yeah. I think possibly that's because we have I also have the Netflix Bumblebee to compare to, and that is, a pretty healthily sized VW Bug, in my opinion. It's got a good, well, definitely feels larger than Cliff Jumper to me. So yeah, that's I like there's just a limit to this feels justified for the price point, and Bumblebee is pushing it. I'm glad I got it on a little bit of a sale. This is the stupidest thing to be happy with, maybe, but it has one of the most secure tab connections for its gun and vehicle mode that
it really does.
Yeah, that we've gotten in a while. Unlike a lot of those, I have no fears or concerns about it falling off, and that just like that, for whatever reason, became my favorite thing about that toy.
I have my own suspicion that tab well is so deep in there because on a later revision of this, it's going to be where they mount the spoiler for Cliff Jumper and Hubcap when they get around to doing those.
I bet you're right. But that is the only thing on topic I've gotten this week.
Cool. So I forgot to mention earlier, people can take a drink because I ended up buying that Studio Series 86 Bumblebee. Plus,
it's on sale.
It was $21.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
On Amazon, tfradio.net/Amazon. Plus, I bid on something on eBay that I really hope that I win.
All right, like another half a drink.
Yeah, take a half drink. Take a sip. Okay. So I mentioned a couple weeks ago, or last week, that I got the AMK Pro Yellow Park Optimus Prime, but I hadn't assembled it yet. And I finally assembled it, and Diecast is right. These are awesome. I paid $55 for it on Amazon, and I honestly feel like it's a bargain for that. It's like a masterpiece that doesn't transform. It's
the same price as a Super 7, which you said earlier.
I was going to say the exact
same price. It's a million times better than any of the Super 7 Ultimates Transformers, and it comes with a little stand that I'll never use. But I like it. After putting it together, it's hefty. It's got a lot. It just feels great in hand. I love it. I did get a couple of the lesser expensive Yellow Parks, and they're nice. I paid like $12 for them. It's Optimus Prime, and I think my dog is at my door, so I apologize if that noise is coming through. He should be crated right now, but he's not, because my kids must have failed to do that before going to bed. So if for like $12, it's nice. Rob said in pre-show that it's like what Red should have been, and that's pretty fair. It feels nice. So I got Optimus and I got Grimlock. Grimlock is of course in dinosaur mode, because why would you have him in any other mode? I guess Super 7 would have him in potentially in.
No, they did. No, the first one they did was dinosaur mode with all of the peripherals, like from season 3.
Who did? Yeah. Didn't somebody do like a non-transforming robot version of it?
Red was going to it.
It
remained unreleased.
Good. Well, hopefully it never comes out.
Right.
I think Red is dead.
Red is dead, baby. Red's dead.
And no redemption.
Never. Yeah. So for $12, it's worth it. These are something that I might put on my desk at work. One more Transformer. I got a G1 Spinister. Didn't have it.
Oh, cool.
Now, does a helicopter blade have any stress marks on it?
No, not that I see.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
Good.
It's missing its stickers though. So
yeah.
I assume Toy Hacks can set you up with that?
Yeah, probably. I would rather have no stickers than ugly, bad stickers. So
yes.
Pretty happy with that.
But I'll be honest, the second generation Target Masters, I love all of them.
Yeah, me too.
They're all fun.
I think that's some of the last stuff I got before I stopped buying G1 as a kid. And yeah, the double Target Masters were always like favorites.
Yeah. So this is on topic for two reasons. One, it's about the show. Two, it's a gift. It is an exclusive convention. It's a convention exclusive 2024 Donvention exclusive action figure. It's a rib eating Don.
Holy
my God.
cow, that's crazy.
What?
And 3 guesses who it's from.
Right.
Yeah.
Sean,
Who else
Sean.
could it be?
Yeah.
that is great.
So it
I'm-
comes out.
I am now terrified.
So he has a little rib in his hand, and it comes with more rib pieces. It's which Star Wars
What?
toy is this?
The
I think
Rancor
it's
Keeper.
Gamora
Rancor
Yeah.
Keeper. Okay.
Keeper. Why would why would I like ribs, but I don't think I've posted anything about eating them lately.
I thought you did. I thought you mentioned it.
I mentioned going to Santana's and getting ribs a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
We also talk like semi regularly about the after BotCon 2015 when it was coming up on your birthday, and those of us who were still there at the location.
It was his birthday.
Yeah.
Okay, it was actually your birthday.
Yeah.
We took you out to Portillo's for a rack of ribs.
Oh, I'd love to go to
Yes.
Portillo's.
But like it's well known that you are a connoisseur of a rack of ribs.
So
Don.
the
Like,
chest. So the Rancor Keeper, of course, is not wearing a shirt, but Sean has decoed the face with the mustache and the glasses. But so there's like barbecue sauce on the chest and on the mouth. It's really nice. He did a really great job with it.
He has more hair than me.
It's pretty sweet.
artistic license.
It's really sweet. So like Sean said, he was like, so I was going to show this off last week, but my internet died, and I'm glad that I saved it so that I could share it with the world. And
Oh yes,
yeah.
please share it with the world.
Don's audio was not working well last week, so
Yeah,
so
it's better for this week.
Yeah.
This is why my audio is not working because Hank.
Hank chewed
Yeah.
his cable last week, but it chewed it right in two. It's like a $50 cable. Fortunately, it's a nice headset, so the cable's detachable. Otherwise, it would have been
Yeah,
just dead.
these are such good headsets for being user serviceable. It's great.
Yeah, cool. That's what I got this week that's on topic. Let's jump to ham sandwiches. Of course, ham sandwiches are exclusive to patrons at patreon.com/tfradio. Diecast, what off-topic stuff did you get this week?
I don't think I got any off-topic stuff this week because
Wacky.
I was taking a break from the convention.
Oh, cool. Don got a fence and a headphone cable. What else did you get?
When I ordered the headphone cable, I was a few dollars short of the paying $6 on Amazon. So I went ahead and got a Super 7 Willa from Thundercats because
I thought you were done with Thundercats.
I thought I was too, but
Thundercats wasn't done with him.
But literally, I cannot think of any other figure I need that's out right now, unless it's something I had passed before and went on sale. But by getting this, I was able to get over the threshold and get the paying $6, and that's it. That's all I've gotten.
Matt, did you get anything?
Yeah, I got a couple things for my birthday. So I upgraded my original 3 X-Men to Blu-ray. So one decent movie, one good movie, and one that is technically a movie.
The third one, right?
That third one is so
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, it's forgettable.
And then they let the same guy remake it again.
No, he didn't do Dark Phoenix.
Oh, didn't he? I thought he did.
No, I think Simon Kinberg did that one.
Yeah, he wrote the original
I
X-Men
think
3.
I think he direct. Yeah, but he wasn't the director. Different
Gotcha.
director. But yes, they did ruin the Dark Phoenix saga twice. But I also
That's
got
talent.
the season 1 of Moon Knight from Disney Plus. Same
cool.
with like the Marvel series on Disney Plus are kind of hit and miss. I actually thought Moon Knight was fun, so I went ahead and got that. And another Lego set. I got the Jaws. set.
Jaws.
nice.
Triplet was so
See-
jealous when that arrived. He has his
Yes.
now, but
Yes, the Orca with Quint, Brody, and Hooper, and of course Bruce the Shark.
that's wonderful.
Yes, this will probably be done before Bumblebee. That's how important this is to me.
Good.
So Triplet knew that you really liked Jaws. I don't think I knew that.
Jaws or Halloween 1978 are like toss up for my favorite movie ever.
How are you and Triplet brothers? And I just don't realize it.
I don't know.
Well, remember, Brian, you keep saying that Triplet could be my brother because we're
Yes.
so much alike. So that
Yes.
means Matt's my brother.
Yes.
And if I'm Matt's evil twin,
No, you're just Lazarus. We just gotta trap you in an antimatter corridor, and we'll be fine. But what of Lazarus?
So Matt, I will say,
It's not that Chris is my evil twin; it's that we're each other's evil twin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so Matt, I'll say it was only in the last 2 years that I saw both Jaws and Halloween 1978. I don't know how I lived my life without seeing them.
I can't watch horror movies.
That's no life, Brian.
I know. Don, Halloween's not scary.
I can't. The first Friday the 13th terrified me the first time I tried to watch it.
There's
I
nothing
can't-
scary
I can't
about
wa-
Halloween.
I can't watch
It is-
Halloween. I just
It's
can't do it.
intense. It's not
Yes,
scary.
it's intense is a great way to put it.
Okay, you've met me. You know my imagination. Do you think watching a horror movie is in any way good for me?
Yes.
No.
It's healthy. It's cathartic.
Yeah, it's healthy when I have a heart attack and Christy gets everything.
Okay.
Good for her.
Don watching Halloween as Patreon content. Python Patroller had a great idea.
Ah.
I would do a watch along with
I
Halloween.
would rather watch all of Beast Machines in one sitting.
Well, we could
Halloween
probably
is so
make
much
that
better
a-
than Beast Machines, and I like Beast Machines.
I watch Halloween every Halloween. I'm actually excited that it's coming up on that time of year again.
Yeah.
I also, while we're on the vague subject of Don again, I want to point out Gray Fox said Don doesn't deal in ham sandwiches; he deals in ribs.
That's nice. Cool. Anything else, Matt?
I don't believe so.
Cool. Chris?
No.
Rob?
Yeah, I got a few things. First up, it seems like Crunchyroll is trying to clearance out their older Gundam Blu-rays, like pretty much everything. So I got all of Gundam Double Zeta, which is in 2 Blu-ray sets for $33 a set. Which, considering like back in about 2000, I paid $50 for one of the 2 Laserdisc sets that only had half of the show and no English subtitles. I think that's a pretty fair deal.
And like 2 or 3 years after that, Zeta Gundam as a box set was like $200.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
and that is my like 1990 whatever it is BotCon that you know Don is still upset about. The Zeta Gundam box set is that for me. I also got in that same box, because they had it in stock finally, the next 3 volumes of the manga Free Run Beyond Journey's End. Still very nice, still enjoying it. Still a few volumes until I get past what they actually animated, but you know, it's a good comic. I like it. And lastly, Amazon's subsidiary Woot had the remake of Super Mario RPG for the Switch down to like $37. So I grabbed that because I'm not quite in the mood to play it yet, but I will be probably longer than they have it in stock. So yeah, got that. Always loved that game. Amazed they actually finally remade it, and you know, happy to put it on the stack of Switch games over here. But pretty sure that is everything for this week.
Cool. Some G.I. Joe stuff from the last few weeks that I forgot to mention. I was able to get Tiger Paw. That was in stock at Target, so I'm happy about that. I got the Was a Man set. I luckily was able to snag that when it went up for sale originally. I just haven't mentioned it. Got the Mad Marauder Sergeant Slaughter, and the Cobra Knight Attack Stinger. So
I don't know how you got that Tiger Paw, because every time I see one at a Target, I try to get it shipped. It's not shippable. It's not in stock.
I drove an hour to pick it up.
Okay, because when I was down in Greensboro for that big toy thing about 2 weeks ago, there was supposed to be one at that Target. They couldn't find it. They had to they canceled the order.
Well, they found it, and they didn't cancel my order, so I'm happy to have it.
That's good.
Cool. Okay. That's what I got. I want to thank our patrons at patreon.com/tfradio. Patrons get an ad-free version of Radio Free Cybertron. You get it a day early. It doesn't mean 24 hours. Usually it's like the night before. It comes at a higher bit rate with a weekly Patreon exclusive pre-show podcast. if for whatever reason we have like a hard edit in the show, I'll have an unedited version on the Patreon. But typically the edits are like somebody sniffling or coughing or me bumping my microphone. That you don't get that. You don't want that.
All of that happened this week.
All of that happened this week. Yeah. You get a There Goes My Money podcast a week early. Patrons at the Touch tier get to be on There Goes My Money. And that's recorded twice monthly. Touch patrons get to be mentioned on the show each week and also listed at tfradio.net/credits. And I'll mention them right now. Kevin Dorsey, Daniel Scott, Jacob and Lucia, Sean Bratton, Emmett Stresovich, Hector Bones, Jay Klein Rye, Joey Russell, Here's Why It's Cool, Rabbits, Ryan Bona, Sean Hamilton, Sean Williamson, Spider Bob, Trickster, Nathan's Fast Talk Food Reviews, and Mollusk Koenig. I'm going to update my little spiel here to mention our Patreon benefits, which you get to be a fancy color.
Yeah, if you link your Patreon and your Discord, you get a custom username color.
Yeah, on Discord, tfradio.net/Discord, you get a fancy color. And again,
and access to our patrons channel, which nobody uses because everybody just wants to talk to each other anyway.
Yeah. But again, like if it wasn't for our Patreon, we wouldn't have our Discord, and
yeah,
we love our Discord.
Mm-hmm.
So again, if you want to join, go to patreon.com/TFradio. Okay. You can find everything that we do at tfradio.net. Like basically everything is there. Like over almost 3,000 podcast episodes across several shows. God, there's a bunch of stuff there. We've recorded so many podcasts over the years.
I've recorded so many podcasts over the years.
Uh-huh.
There was a stretch there where I was doing at least 3 per week.
Yeah, me too. And it's, yeah.
Staggering.
Yeah. I still need to remove the RSC Daily News podcast from my Alexa because it tries to play it every morning and it says it's unavailable. So I need to get rid of that. But like all of that stuff is at tfradio.net. You can find Rob Springer at RoboRobSpringer on Twitter, zonebase.org, and at zonebase on Blue Sky. John DeLuna not here this week. He is at That John D everywhere. You can find me at briankilby.com. I'm posting on the regular now, my Happy Daily podcast, and I'm enjoying doing that. I'm also on Twitter at bkilby, and at Blue Sky at kilby.bsky.social. Diecast, how do people get a hold of you?
Oh, they can follow me on X and Blue
It's Twitter.
Sky.
It's not
at
X.
Diecast too. Hey, Elon Musk, man,
he owns it. He can call it whatever, but X is literally the worst name. That's what he wanted PayPal to be X at one point.
He also called it Twitter in a tweet the other day.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
But he's coming back, man. He's going to save those astronauts that are stuck in space. So you know.
Geez.
I mean, NASA's paying him to.
You can find Diecast at Diecast2 on the social medias, and these tfradio.net/reviews and Facebook.com. These reviews by Diecast or something like that. Anyway, let's move on.
That was a pretty good. I could just have Chris do this for me from now on.
I've heard it. Yeah, I hear it enough times. It sticks in there. I'm on Blue Sky at ChrisRTXV. The stuff I've done online is at playwithphotography.com. I have an Amazon wish list at tfradio.net/ChrisList. It works through the Amazon affiliate program to send money back to the show. And Diecast also has an Amazon wish list at tfradio.net/Diecast list. I forgot that one.
That's okay.
Yeah. Moving right along, Brian.
Don.
I can be reached on Twitter at HMRC, the number 4 EVR. I can be reached on Blue Sky at HMRC, the number 4 EVR.bluesky.social. I also have an Amazon wish list at tfradio.net/donlist.
But he can't be reached in his backyard now since he fenced it off.
Yeah.
And is there any reason why with you driving in this area?
Matt, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Matt.
Thank you. So melvar.bsky.social. 3 L's, 2 R's.
3 L's, 2 R's. Chris?
I did mine after I stepped over.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
I know you weren't paying attention.
I was
fine.
chatting in our Discord,
Yeah.
tfradio.net/Discord. Rob?
You can find me on Blue Sky at robfoils.bsky.social. I'm on YouTube at, I'm pretty sure the URLs these days are like youtube.com/@flailthroughs. I am covering still Gundam Battle Operation 2 and also now Gundam Breaker 4, which is just a lot of fun. They nailed it. It's a great game. I am really enjoying it. I am making mismatched monstrosities to get specific stats for now, and hopefully we'll make more coordinated things the deeper I get into the game. If you want to make me do that, patreon.com/flailthroughs. For a couple of bucks, you can request I do a video with a specific build, and I will give it my best shot. Also, specific mobile suits and weapon combinations and what have you, and color schemes in Gundam Battle Operation 2. And if you'd rather just get me something for some apparent reason or no apparent reason, tfradio.net/playlist will take you to my Amazon wish list. And if you get anything through that link, a little bit will go back to the show, just the same as it would with tfradio.net/Amazon.
Cool. So next week is our 900th episode. It's going to be a regular episode. Like I said earlier, we're basically over 900 at this point. The following week, we're going to be recording the show a day late because I'll be at the Transformers 1 showing, where you get free swag. So, free swag that I'm paying for.
None of those were in my area, so I had to do
Yeah.
the Saturday showing.
Boo.
Yeah, the closest one for me is like 2 hours away in Roanoke, so that was no good for me.
Even if I have one, I don't think I want to pack myself into a movie theater right now.
Same. I'm a paranoid germaphobe.
I'm also antisocial.
Yeah, me too. With that, we'll see you next week. Have a good one.
Good night, everybody.
Take care, everybody.
Recording stopped.
Sweet.
That was
Don,
a
do you
fun one.
pick up those Doctor Wu figures?
No, I haven't. I haven't bought any of. No, I haven't bought any of them. I looked at them, but it's just, I don't know. With them doing the New Age, doing the Lio Kaiser, I'm just basically wanting to get those. And those Dr. Wu's at Shozy store, the Lio Kaiser pieces go for about 37. The Dr. Wu's are like 20 to 25, give or take, and it's like I'd rather just get the Lio Kaiser.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but Brian, there is one thing. Chrissy and I were talking, and that we've come up with an idea of possibly a new show.
Okay. A new show. What kind of show?
Well, it's going to be on YouTube.
Okay.
Again, this is it's called "What's in the Don Box."
Nice. Do that. You should do that.
And basically, I just pick a box at random since I don't remember what's in most of these boxes. Pick it up, show everybody on the video what I've got, and then I say, hey, I'm keeping this for my collection, or I'm going to be selling this. You can check my Twitter. Just me going through and seeing what I've got in the random box.
Do it.
And just showing people what I've got and what's going to be for sale and what isn't. So, we thought about doing that.
Do it.
I didn't know if you wanted to have it on the site or me just do it by myself.
I would suggest you do it by yourself. I love the idea, but I don't have time to put into doing anything.
Right, I understand. I didn't know if it would be it'd be easy content if you wanted to add more.
I mean,
content
if you
to the
want
site.
to do it on our YouTube, absolutely do it. But
Okay.
We can always use more content.
we can always use more content. But I don't think I could do anything to help record it or anything like that.
Oh, no. Christy was saying she's got an iPhone 14. She's got all that crap on there. You know me, I'm not the best technical person. So again, it's just an idea we had. I just want to see what you thought of it.
I love it. In fact, that's kind of what I started doing myself with. I took lots of photos, and I plan to post like multiple photos a day of all the crap that I have, and I stopped after a couple of days, but I still have the photos.
Sean proposes the new podcast, Who's Looking Through Don's Window? Sean, I get the concept, but it's going to get a little old when every day it's just Sean.
I mean,
Yeah.
with occasional guest appearances from Diecast, let's be real.
It's like, what's on my one channel, Sean? Sean. Same thing day after day.
Cool. Okay, people watching live, I have a cold and I feel like crap, so I'm going to turn off the video. So we will see you next week. I'm going to say goodbye first. to the YouTubes because that's the hardest one to turn off. And of course, there we go. I need to.
Don, in our Discord, Nathan just pointed you at a lavalier mic that'll interface with an iPhone for if you decide to do that.
Oh, genius! Yeah, do that. Okay, bye, people.
Hey Don, are you near Harrisonburg?